Good morning. Thank you so much for coming here in this beautiful town of Grasse in France. I'm so happy that we could do this project together. As you know, it was very, very important for me to go beyond the aesthetics of perfume and use the gentle healing powers of the plants that surround us in this beautiful region to create perfumes that not only will smell absolutely divine, but will also make people feel way better. And I could not imagine a better team to do so. So Elisabeth Carr, thank you. Isabelle Sognola-Lose, thank you.
Thank you.
Xavier Brochet and Christophe from Firmenich, beautiful house of perfumery. Thank you so much for doing this project in such a different way to create perfumes with benefits. So we will start first to smell a few of those raw materials just to make sure we're okay on the quality that we're using, and then we'll smell the finished goods before we completely, elect to launch them on the market. All right? So Xavier, let's start with lavender because we're in the region of Provence where lavender is from, and I think it's well suited that we start with it.
With pleasure. Let's smell the blotter of this lavender oil. And of course, I think it's the best product to start with. It is an iconic aromatic essence coming from the Plateau de Valensole in the heart of Provence, where we are very happy and very proud also to have a strong relationship with different families of producers, of agricultors, working for several generations on this quite tough land, because it needs a lot of water, a lot of work to produce this beautiful ingredient. That's something that for us is very important to really take care of our friends producers. Otherwise, we could eventually have the risk not to find the right qualities one day if we are not present enough to accompany them.
Yeah, I think it's very important. And to be honest, one of the reasons why I love working with you at Firmenich is, not only do you have the best quality of raw materials, but you take care of the people who harvest them, wherever they are in the world, wherever those raw materials are coming from.
Yeah, thank you for noticing this policy, this obsession to really take care of the producers, because it's, of course, pleasant to have good relationship with people, but it's also important for the guarantee to get the right product and to make sure that we will continue to get those products for the year to come. One example is also that we adopt the same strategy with people in, let's say, the Horn of Africa for the incense, the Alibanum, that we could smell also. Where we will do the maximum to help those people having a quite tough life, and to go to the desert to collect the gum from these trees. And it's not only a question of, let's say, interest. It's also the guarantee that if we treat correctly people, we will have the right products, and it will be something that we will smell in the product. Because the perfumer will create the most beautiful fragrances, and in your bottle you will have also the beauty coming from all this chain of efforts.
For sure. And when I smell Alibanum, to me it's like it's an amazing resinic type of scent. It helps you escape. It helps you connect with, the universe, right?
Correct. No, we can have this common feeling.
And I love this combination of lavender and Alibanum. And Isabelle, we wanted to make this accord of lavender and Alibanum because it really brings this ability to manage peace and to elevate the soul. So, tell us about it.
Well, when you told me you wanted to do something, you wanted to do an accord for bringing up the soul, I thought directly about lavender and Alibanum, because lavender for us in aromatherapy is one of the main oil that we use to bring peace and to alleviate stress. It's quite used a lot in hospitals and in hospices, really, to really quieten people and to make them feel better. And for me, these two together, they really work well, and they really bring like a little music inside that make you feel really good and connected to the rest of the world. I mean, Alibanum has been used for centuries for meditation, for spiritual connection, and they really bring this inner peace that we were looking for.
Yeah, and it works so well. Mm-hmm. So Christophe, let's smell the bergamot.
That's true.
I love this raw materials because it's so joyful.
Yeah, that's true. That's one of the main reasons when we decided to do heart. We wanted something really uplifting and joyful, and I thought directly about the citrus family, because the citrus in aromatherapy, they bring light, they bring sunshine, they bring joy, they want to make you move, etc. Bergamot is probably among the citrus the most calming, maybe the most introvert. But in the mix, we also have the grapefruit, we also have the lemon, which makes it really joyful and uplifting. Great, really great.
It makes you smile.
Absolutely, wants to move.
And we have jasmine from the garden, which is unbelievable. So maybe, Xavier, we can look at this jasmine, but also talk about the jasmine we put on our fragrances.
Okay. Yes. Now we have been very lucky to get the first flowers of the season here in this garden. So I let you smell these beautiful and delicate flowers, and we will smell also the extract.
It's
shared by Christophe.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
And this extract is obtained from an Indian jasmine, where it is cultivated in the Tamil Nadu state, in the south part of India, where they have a long tradition of cultivation and exploitation of the white flower, the jasmine, the tuberose, etc. And when you smell it, you can find a lot of facets. Yeah?
Almost a fruity part in it, you know, like an apricot peel, or very velvety.
And it's not too indolic, it's not too animalic.
No, this one is quite sweet, quite soft, but also very powerful.
Yeah.
And remember that in order to get just 1 kilo of flowers of jasmine, you need to gather 10,000 individual flowers picked one by one with your hands. And then you need 600 kilos of those flowers just to get 1 kilo of extract.
It's amazing.
So yes, it shows the quantity of work, of passion, of dedication which is needed to share this beautiful extract provided by nature.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful smell, and we picked it to put in heart because it brings this idea of finding one space in the world and being really at the beginning of a project, moving forward. It's a beautiful smell, really, really flowery.
And it helps you do what you want to do, but I think also olfactively, you know, the combination between the citruses, which are very sparkling, and this beautiful velvety flower, you know, combined together is quite gorgeous.
It kind of brings you the basis to go forward. You know, the citrus gives you the energy, and the jasmine, the base to be able to do what you need to do.
It's fantastic. And we just finished actually the harvesting of the rose here in Grasse. You know, the harvest is in May, we're beginning of June, so I would love for us to smell a few of the roses, or whatever rose you want us to smell, Christophe, because we use it in the line for its properties and its olfactive magnificence.
Yes, you are right. It's just the end of the season of the rose campaign in France for the Rose de Mai, but also in the other country of production like Bulgaria or Turkey, where they are more focused on the rose of Damas, the Rosa Damascena. And it is interesting also to be aware of the fact that those productions are also based on centuries of experience, of tradition, where they have learned to domesticate and to take care of these very fragile plant in order to get, when they distill it or extract it, all the best part of this very, let's say, iconic flower, which is present in your fragrance. And I think it's an excellent choice.
Well, basically, when we smell the oil and compare it to the Absolute, the other extract, it's interesting on an aesthetical, olfactive point of view, because when you smell the oil, you have this kind of dewy, fresh, drenched, almost rosy petal. And when you smell, in comparison, Christophe, if you agree, when we smell the Absolute and the Rose de Grace, much better. You get really deep into the rosy fragrance with lots of fruity notes, with kind of depth and maybe more sensual though. And the combination of both gives this unique twist in the fragrance to work together.
Well, it's true that in aromatherapy we tend to use the Damascus rose a lot more, and it's a really good example of the difference between aromatherapy and perfumes, because it's both a remedy, it's a real medicine rose, it's really good for the skin, but it's also really good for your body and making you feel really connected to your body and inside your body. It's like a big hug, smelling the rose, big caress really.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it feels really like it helps you connect with your own sensuality.
Absolutely. It makes you feel alive and inside your body, especially combined with the patchouli, as we've done. You know, it's the combination makes you really go back inside your body and being there on Earth right now. So patchouli oil in aromatherapy is really interesting because it's an oil that connects you with your body. And in therapy, when for whatever reason you're not connected with your body, it's going to bring you back within, your skin in a way. And when you are already in your body, it allows you to really benefit from it. You know, it's linked to the sexual revolution of the 60s. So you're going to really connect, and making it with, patching it with the rose, it makes you really inside and really enjoy being there and now.
Feeling the pleasure of your own body.
Absolutely, enjoying it.
And for me, on top of what you have recalled about the patchouli and the history, it is also a beautiful case because it's the ultimate challenge of the chemist. With a lot of effort, a lot of money, we could eventually try to mimic one or two molecules that we can find on the patchouli. But at the end, if we compare what we could get in the lab and what nature could provide to us, in fact, there is no comparison. So it reminds us that we have to remain quite humble vis-à-vis nature. We have also to respect this beautiful, let's say, intrinsic knowledge, and just to admire the beauty of this essence.
Absolutely.
Good.
And that's what makes it so great, those perfumes that we've created. It's not just perfume, it's really connected to the plant and to the energy of the plant and what it has to say.
I agree. This is perfumes that smell wonderful, but make you feel even better.
Absolutely.
Soul is actually Xavier's favorite perfume in the range. So we're going to smell Soul before he goes on to his next appointment. But I'm really delighted to smell this, and I want us to take the time to smell it, because that's how you really understand the power of those fragrances, because those are fragrances that you smell, but as you smell them, you feel them where they act. So let's take a moment. And this is an amazing, amazing accord of cedarwood, LME, and lavender. Isabelle, you want to talk a little bit about what we did here?
What we did here is we tried to connect the earth to the sky, really, because with the big trees like frankincense, like LME, we really have deep roots. We have the straightness of the trees, but also the opening with spirituality. And the other note with the lavender is also very interesting because in aromatherapy we often look at the way the plants behave in their environment, and the lavender, like all of the plants of its family, are really structured. You know, they really bring the structure with the square stems, everything's at the right place, and it really brings you step by step to opening, to spirituality. It's a really great strength we have there together.
And I confirm also, Veronique, that this fragrance talks to me really directly, and I completely agree with this already element shared by Isabelle. But I feel also that there is a kind of universal speech or expression coming from this fragrance, maybe through the diverse origin of the main materials. The lavender comes from Europe, the cedar wood comes from America, the Alibanum comes from Africa, the LME comes from Asia. I think all the planet is represented in this fragrance. And it is something that really speaks to me very, very deeply. I feel connected with the planet. And through a fragrance, it could seem a little bit strange. But when you have this feeling, you have to admit it and to accept it. It's part of you now. It's part of me.
Yeah.
And I will take it for my next appointment.
That's for sure. And you know, it's interesting because when you smell it, in this case, you know, you feel the fragrance, and you were talking, Isabelle, about those big trees that anchor themselves through their roots in the ground and then reach out to the sky with their branches. But very interestingly, you smell this fragrance and you feel it in your feet, and at the same time you feel it in your head.
Well, I would go further. I think it's a kind of connection. You feel really connected, you know, from the tip of your toes to the top of your head, really connected and connected to the universe.
Elisabeth, shall we smell heart?
Okay, great.
I know it's one of your favorites as well.
Let's take time when we smell it.
No, for sure. And let's take time also to feel where it acts, because it's different, you know, for every one of them.
View.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vero.
It's extraordinary. It gives you so much joy. And it's full of those citruses, right, Christophe?
Yes. The extraction of the lemon is a cold expression that gives you an essential oil that represents exactly the smell, the scent you have when you scratch the pills.
Oh, let's see.
Just have a smell.
You mean that because you don't heat it up, then you just preserve all the olfactory characteristics
all
of the fresh fruit,
All the
of the fresh peel.
All the molecules, yeah.
And you feel the sparkling effect of the lemon.
I'm scratching it now. This is delicious.
And it is very sparkling effect.
Yes.
And you feel it in heart, right? You feel it, and for me, when I smell heart, I smell this combination of citruses, jasmine, a little bit of mint, but I feel it here at the level of the solar plexus, right, Isabelle?
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like we're getting light inside ourselves, as if the light was coming through the heart and, you know, bringing everything out. It's a great feeling.
It helps you open up.
Absolutely.
And it makes you, I mean, joyful, really. It makes you feel like you can do anything.
And you can.
And you can. Elizabeth, we smell the rose, we smell the patchouli. I'd love to smell body now, because both the rose and the patchouli are part of the accord. They're not the only notes in there, but they're really important in it for what they bring you. And again, take the time to smell it and let me know where you feel it, because I feel it very deep in my abdomen, but I would love to hear where you do feel it.
Really, it's my favorite.
I know you have this one as your favorite. We all do have a favorite, but this one is so beautiful too. And I love this accord between the rose and the patchouli, but the fact that you have geranium also in it makes it super interesting, right?
Yeah, but what I like with the combination between rose and geranium is they both play with rosy notes, but one is kind of very classical, intense, round, and geranium for me is like playing around, you know, and giving this link between the rose and the patchouli. It's very interesting that it's a full combination of the three of them that gives this harmony.
Yeah.
Yes. The geranium connects the rose and the patchouli. And if you want, we can smell the geranium leaves.
Oh,
you
great.
mean the fresh ones here?
Yes, absolutely.
Are
Just
the real ones
to
we
feel the
use in
fizzy
perfumery?
effect of the
Oh, that's so
geranium
cool.
leaves.
Yeah, and you see, I mean, I love that. You know, I used to do that with my grandmother, you know, crushing leaves of geranium in her garden. Smell them. Oh, they're gorgeous.
And we'll
Right.
smell the oil.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
And it's interesting what you say, Elizabeth, because in aromatherapy, the geranium is really a balancing oil. So it's nice that it brings
Right.
both. You know, it's
Good.
like balancing the rose and balancing the patchouli.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you say that it's a balancing oil, because when I smell body, I almost feel like we recenter ourselves with this product.
Absolutely. And I don't know about you guys, but I really feel it in my abdomen, like almost behind the navel, really almost at the center of my body,
The core.
the core. Yeah.
Absolutely. Feel the same.
You feel the same?
Absolutely.
And really invites you to take care of yourself, of your body, here and now, and reconnect with your body.
It's very recentering and it's very anchoring. You're talking about balance, but I feel like suddenly I'm rebalanced when I smell this product. Recenter.
And depth is there, like it's inside.
It's inside. It really is about our own body.